Hello everyone, welcome to episode 15 of Flashback Royal Rumble. This time around we'll be reviewing the 2004 and 2005 Royal Rumble events. First, let's kick off with the 2004 Royal Rumble. Overall, this was a pretty good show. There was like a match or two that kind of stood out in my mind, but other than that, it was alright. The show kicked off with the Dudleys taking on Ric Flair and Batista for the World Tag Team titles in a tables match. Flair and Batista ended up retaining the belts, and this was when Flair and Batista were a part of Evolution, and Evolution had all four title belts on Raw, and Flair and Batista were dominating the tag team division, and this was another one of those examples. Overall, it was a mess, if anything, pretty forgettable. Then there was the Rey Mysterio-Jamie Noble match for the Cruiserweight Championship, in which Rey Mysterio successfully defended the Cruiserweight belt. This match could have been better if given much longer time, because these guys are very good workers and very capable of having a good match together. But because they only had like 3.5 minutes, it wasn't much. Then there was the Eddie Guerrero-Chavo Guerrero matchup. Again, these are another one of these guys that are capable of having good matches together, of course because they're family, but because of the low time they had, and because the pace was kind of slow for their kind of matchup, Eddie Guerrero ended up winning the match, and he would go on to become the future top face of the WWE. Then there was the WWE Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Hardcore Holly. Brock Lesnar would go on to retain the title in what some might say a forgettable matchup. I would say it's forgettable because, it was only 6.5 minutes, and in those 6.5 minutes, there wasn't really much. And it did kind of look like Hardcore Holly wasn't ready for the main event, nor would he ever be. But there was a story behind it. Brock Lesnar injuring Hardcore Holly, and Hardcore Holly wanted revenge, so I'll give them that. But other than that, it was forgettable. Then there was the World Heavyweight Championship match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels in a last man standing match for the belt. Triple H would end up retaining the belt due to a draw, as both guys fell down and could not answer the 10 count. Other than the double finish, this match was actually pretty good. I really liked it, but the double finish kind of took away something from me, but that's just me. Overall, good match, but did not like the finish. And of course, your main event for the 2004 Royal Rumble was the 2004 Royal Rumble match. This was the match where Chris Benoit entered at number 1, and he went the distance over an hour, 61.5 minutes, I believe, and go on to WrestleMania to challenge for the world title. I really liked this match. I really marked out when Chris Benoit won, because WWE was finally giving Chris Benoit the chance to shine at the big time. And shine at the big time he did. He definitely got that ball and ran with it. And by the next couple of months, Chris Benoit would go on, along with Eddie Guerrero, to be the top faces of the WWE, and much deserved so. That's basically my my synopsis of the 2004 Royal Rumble event. Overall, pretty good show. Not worth going anywhere to see. The only match I would recommend you see was the 2004 Royal Rumble match, as it showcased Chris Benoit's talent and WWE finally giving Chris Benoit the chance. We now move on to the 2005 Royal Rumble. Again, this was another one of those shows where it was okay, but nothing spectacular stood out. There was only like a match, maybe two, I don't know, that stood out in my mind. The show kicked off with Edge and Shawn Michaels. These two guys are pretty good together. They have pretty good chemistry in the ring, in my opinion. I did like that Edge went over, and it really looked like Edge. They were really prepping up Edge to be the next star of the company, and we would see that within the next coming year. Then there was the casket match between Heidenreich and Undertaker, in which Undertaker was successful. Wow. Just when you thought Undertaker was not going to be in another boring and forgettable feud again, yet here comes Heidenreich. I mean, nothing against the Undertaker. It's just sometimes there was times where he was stuck with guys with limited to no ability at all, and in this case it was Heidenreich. Again, another forgettable matchup. Then there was the world title match between Triple H and Randy Orton. These guys, I think they had better matches after this. I don't know, but that's not saying much. And I mean, as for a Triple H Orton match, it was good. But again, I mean, these guys were pretty well together, but nothing spectacular. So I'll just say good, but not spectacular, and we'll move on. Then there was the triple threat match for the WWE Championship between JBL, Big Show, and Kurt Angle. JBL would go on to retain the championship by the stroke of luck, which was pretty much the vocal point of JBL's title reign. Every time JBL won the match for the title, it was either by interference or by a stroke of luck. And this was just one of those examples of how that was. And again, forgettable stuff. The main event of the 2005 Royal Rumble event was the 2005 Royal Rumble match. One of the things that I liked about this match was with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero started out as the first two combatants. Now, the year before, Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero were the faces of the company as the World and WWE Champion. And it was nice to see these two actually started off as a chance that maybe they can rekindle that same magic. And of course, we all remember this match as the Batista-John Cena double finish, as John Cena and Batista ended up tossing each other over the top rope, landing their feet on the floor at the same time, a la Bret Hart and Lex Luger back in '94. But what was different about this finish, was that instead of going to the crowd, they were going to restart the match from Batista and John Cena and just have an over-the-top rope challenge. To me, that was a good way to go because we already saw the draw finish from '94 a long time ago, and plus I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see that again. But to me, it was a good call, and Batista would end up winning and go on to WrestleMania. Of course, that didn't stop John Cena, as he had his own road to WrestleMania paved, and we all know where that went, and the rest, as they say, was history. Okay, overall, the 2005 Royal Rumble event was pretty good. If there's one match I would recommend seeing, was the 2005 Royal Rumble match, just on the Benoit Guerrero stuff, and plus the double finish between Batista and Cena. But other than that, you can see it if you want, but don't go out of your way. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode. You can leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at JJMWWE89. And until we meet again, take care, y'all.